Yeah. Hi guys, Sal Galvin here from Perth, WA. I told you guys that we're going to come live with Tom and Annabel Curtin. Welcome, Tom. Welcome, Annabel.
Thanks. G'day. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming. So Tom and Annabel don't really need an introduction, but I'm going to anyway. So Tom is two-time winner of the Golden Guitar Awards, which means, give us a quick rundown. So country and western singing. Go.
Yeah, well, at Tamworth Country Music Festival every year, they have, end of January, they have the Golden Guitar Awards. And yeah, they're split up in different categories of different song types and choices. And so, yeah, I think every year there's, you try to nominate your song and there's judges, and yeah, we somehow managed to win Best Video Clip of the Year and Best Heritage Song of the Year for one of our songs called Never Never Land, up there that we wrote up there in Katherine.
And you just said to me before we started, what is Never Never Land about?
Yeah, so we tried to write a song all about the landscapes in the top end, and also the never give up spirit up there, the resilience that gets sort of drummed into us. But I think now that we get the chance to travel, the last 4 months we've been on the road touring, did about 40 shows all over the country, and we met a lot of people in a lot of different communities, and we saw the never give up spirit is so evident.
Australia-wide.
Yeah.
So that's actually what we're going to talk about here today. Tom and Annabel honestly have achieved so much and overcome so much. And do you know who else I didn't introduce? Young Harry here.
He's just snoring his head off at the moment.
He's fast asleep, bless him. The never give up spirit and the resilience in Australians it's always there, isn't it? That's what we are. That is what is bred into us. And it is so important right now with this COVID virus and this COVID-19 virus, the coronavirus, is, we really all need to dig deep and find our inner resilience. So I was so lucky, really so blessed, when Annabel got hold of me only just the beginning of this week and said, look, we're down in Perth, can we catch up? Because these guys are from Katherine in the Northern Territory. They own and run an incredibly successful the Katherine Outback experience, don't you guys? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tourism business.
Yeah.
Up in the Territory. A bit about it. We're an Outback show. And we
come on in.
Had a few issues with the portrait and horizontal view. If anyone knows how to fix it, drop us a line. It's fine when the camera's the other way around. But yeah, Katherine Outback Experience is an Outback show, tourist attraction in the Territory, and it's about the real side of what goes on the cattle stations. So we show how we start horses. Quite often the show could be the first time a horse has entered that round yard in front of the audience, has had a saddle on it, has been ridden. And we also have a team of working dogs. So we demonstrate how we train them for life on the cattle stations, how we train them to work as a team, build up their confidence, and sort of work on their strengths, I suppose. And we show that live in front of our guests. So it's sort of the real side of what goes on. It's not the star fingers polished side of things.
It's a real deal. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you guys have won some pretty serious awards. Give us a quick rundown.
We've been pretty fortunate. We for the last 2 years we have won Best Tourist Attraction in the Territory. And we also won bronze at the National Tourism Awards and Best Visitor Experience.
Well, that's absolutely amazing. That is something else. Absolutely something else. Yeah, you should be. So what we really did want to delve into deep today was a bit of resilience. And I was talking to Annabel and Tom before we were on camera about how the Katherine Outback experience started. Go on then. Give us a rundown of what you how.
This is your story, Tom. This is you better. It came about from the Live Beef Export ban.
Yeah, so basically the last 20 years I went to the Northern Territory in about 2001, worked on cattle stations out there, mustering cattle every day, and there was something up there that inspired me to write songs. I'd never written a song in my life before, but on the horse all day, the hoof beats became a bit of a drum beat. These songs came into my head. An old bloke gave me an old guitar, showed me 3 chords, and every night time I'd sit around the campfire trying to practice the guitar and write a few songs, and somehow managed to win a singing contest up there near Darwin, got to Tamworth, met Garth Porter, who produces Lee Kernaghan, and we just released our latest album, 4th album, called We're Still Here. And
Perhaps,
yeah. Well, it's a song all about the people suffering from the droughts and the fires and the floods,
And
the
it's about their
resilience.
resilience.
Yeah. And so anyway, I went contract horse breaking for about 15 years, all through the Northern Territory. Every 2 to 3 weeks, I break in another 10 or 12 horses, and did that pretty much full on. For the last 10 or 15 years. And in between, I thought we'd be able to. I did a fair bit of singing as going along, but I just really wanted to set up in Katherine and get all the cattle stations to send their horses to Katherine to get trained rather than me travel everywhere. So I set up a place and bought a place in 2010, and then it was going really well. But I think 2011, the live beef export ban hit, and overnight all the budgets were cut. We had no horses to train. So I went singing at the caravan parks 4 nights a week in town, and those people said, "Can we come and see how you train the horses and the dogs?" And so I started off, 3 shows a week. I think the first show, no one turned up. And it felt pretty good.
What did you say? No one turned up.
No one turned up at all. But I often did shows for 1 or 2 people, and all my mates just paid me out. Said, "Tom, just give up. You're good at training horses and dogs, but this whole idea is you got rocks in your head. Just give up." Yeah, but I kept on persevering and met Annabel about 4 years ago.
5.
Is it that long?
I
Jeez.
know.
Fun flies.
Time
You're
goes
having
having
fun.
fun.
I met, and I was down in WA training horses over the wet season. Got in a really tight spot, and had a saddlebag over one shoulder and a clothes bag over the other, walking down the Southwest Highway. And after about 4 hours, this old guy came along in an old farm ute and offered me a lift back to his farm. And that was Annabel's dad. And then that night, Annabel rocked up from the city of Perth. She's a town planner, urban planner up there, and that's how we met. Kept in touch for about 12 months. Eventually convinced Annabel to come to Katherine, and she's been amazing. She's been the backbone of it, really, and kicked it all into gear. And so we got I thought she was going to just turn around and go home because it was hot, humidity.
Too stubborn for that.
There was frogs and snakes everywhere, and I thought, oh no, she's going to go straight home. But she kept at it, and got married.
Resilience.
A couple of years ago, got married. Now got Harry. Harry was 3 weeks on the road. We left in early November for another tour, 3rd tour we've done over the summer, and he's still alive, thank God. And
people rock up to your tours now.
they actually pay to come and see us. Can you believe that? So yeah, it's amazing. And very humbled to have it all. We just did 40 shows from Katherine, Central Cream, Rockhampton, Tamworth, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, and then back to Katherine. So with 7 horses, 10 dogs and 3 goats.
And a newborn.
And a newborn baby.
Yeah.
How brilliant are you guys? And like your latest one that you've been on this tour on is the bullying one, isn't it? The song.
Yeah.
We did a that's right.
Because you're ambassador for Dolly's Dream too.
Yeah, so we wrote a song called
amazing.
"Speak Up" for little Dolly Everett, who passed away after a bout of bullying. And so every tour we do the shows, but before or after the show in a town, we drop into the local school, and so we just to sing 3 or 4 songs, talk about bullying and how to be nice to each other, and I think it's just
spread the kindness message.
Yeah.
That's important, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
Kindness and empathy, especially in these trying times as well. So, you guys, honestly, you guys are the full package. I'm so blessed to have, really got to know you guys this morning. Resilience, Tom. If somebody had have told you, well, which they did, plenty of people told you to stop singing, not because you got a bad voice or that you can't.
Don't say that. Don't worry about that.
You would still be, you wouldn't be having that enormous impact that you have been having all over Australia for these, just talking about what you've done in the last 4 months with that bullying, with that campaign you guys have been doing. If you had have believed, if you hadn't have,
we'd listen to that.
Yeah. Well, often, and I'm no Pavarotti, okay? I'm pretty rusty with the singing, but it's I love hearing people's stories to get it out there, and through song you can get a lot of messages through, I've realised. And yeah, I think I've seen it now. You know, you finish a show, we do an hour Outback show with horses and dogs, have a little break, we jump up, put a concert on with the band, get a lot of kids up dancing and singing and things like that. But I think the biggest thing is at the end of those shows, you see the parents that have come up that have lost kids to suicide, brothers and sisters. It's pretty full on, and I could easily just stay up in Katherine and sing around a campfire over the wet season to myself. No worries, it's so easy. And don't have the stress of doing all the touring. But we've seen how much of an impact we've had taking the message onto the road to all these communities that don't get the drought-affected areas, people down in Bairnsdale or Princess Highway down the east coast who got smashed with the fires.
Yeah.
The whole country.
It was
floods.
Travelling through that Western Queensland and even a lot of New South. It was heartbreaking, the drought this year, and you sort of realised how important it was for us to be there.
Yeah, we're rocking up for 2 or 3 hours a night in these country communities and putting a smile on their faces to forget about life for a while. I think that's the buzz for us.
Yeah. That's your obligation, isn't it?
Yeah.
You guys are good humans, you know that? You really are. So what would you say to anybody that's watching, anybody that's right now is feeling scared or uncertain or, everybody everybody that's anybody right now that is tapping into the news and all the uncertainty of this COVID-19, what advice would you give to them over the next little while? Like what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? And what would you say?
We're all in this together.
Yeah.
We're everybody's impacted by it. Our tourism business, it's quite uncertain. We're expecting our season to be over, to be honest. But we're not getting caught up on that. We are looking for the opportunities. We are working on what our customers have been asking us for a long time, and taking those opportunities. We're using it as an opportunity to breathe for a second, to sit back for a second, even look at things that we haven't been doing. In my case, it's looking after my health, putting me first a little bit, and even getting back into horse riding for me. And I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited about it. And it's almost given us that opportunity. And if it wasn't for this, I probably wouldn't be thinking that way.
No, you'd be thinking about the next job, the next thing.
Everything else, I've got all this stuff happening.
Absolutely.
But definitely looking for ways to diversify and quick wins. The low-hanging fruit, we can get cash flow going. For us, it might be ramping up our merchandise. Looking at online possibilities, and looking at ways we can engage with our local market when previously a lot of our attention was interstate markets.
You guys are pivoting, aren't you? Like so many people are right now in business or just in life. So first of all, you've worked out, given yourself time to breathe and work out what's important to you, and then you're pivoting. Improvise, adapt, and overcome, isn't it? That's really what life and resilience in life is all about.
But we've been here before, you know.
Yeah.
There was not that long ago there was the GFC.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what businesses had to do then.
Yeah.
And then every year we have, every few years you have little things that have to overcome, and it's just taking those lessons and understanding it is a cycle. We will come out of this, and we'll come out of this stronger and better.
This too shall pass.
It will pass.
I think it's just another learning curve, and if you can keep your eyes open. But I think I'm actually quite excited about the possibility because
doors is it going to open?
I know we've been so flat out with our own business and touring and travelling and you don't wish it on anyone, the virus or anything, but I think we can just sit back and say, okay, and check ourselves and go, okay, where are we going now, and which direction we can take to maximise the future.
So keep calm.
Yeah,
definitely. Absolutely.
Work out what's important to you.
Yeah.
And then improvise, adapt, and overcome.
Yeah.
Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Grab that low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, thanks so much for coming in, you guys, and little Harry, but he might watch this in years to come when he's a little bit older.
Still sound asleep.
He's fast asleep. Thanks so much for coming in, you two. You really are incredible humans, a pair of you.
No, likewise.
As to you.
Yeah,
We've loved hearing about Sally's story. She's a pretty special woman.
Very special. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Now I have to get up and really unprofessionally press the button on this. So
How do we make it landscape when it's facing
I
you?
don't know. Thanks for watching, guys. Ciao for
Cheers, see ya.
now. Ciao, ciao.
Well done.